Finally live. No one's gonna view this video.
I didn't view
it. Jordan 1's releasing soon.
Oh. Alright, and today, Matt Smith looking. I don't know why at this angle.
They're already there.
Okay, but seriously, today we're gonna be checking out true story, scary.
We're live. Eh?
We literally all live.
Animations Part 3. Gonna be looking at some really scary stuff. So everybody comment down below your greatest fear. Some people have a fear of heights, people have a fear of spiders. Me, I have a fear of commitment. Now, everybody make sure to not watch this before bed. I don't want you guys having nightmares, okay? So, you know, if you can, watch it during the day. If not, then, you know, if it's nighttime, if you're a gangster like me, then watch it at night. If you ain't skills, then, you know, yeah, just watch.
Bro, no one's watching the live stream, boy.
You have to wait.
You have to go live and then you have to view it. You know?
Then watch it at night. If you ain't scared of this, then, you know, yeah, just watch it at night. And you guys already know, get some of the dang Matt Smith merch to get that out of here. Hoodies, the family-friendly hoodies, got in the description below. Oh, man, let's go ahead and get scared with... It's part 3. Let's do it. Lego Man! True camping stories. Okay, let's see.
Me and a couple of my buddies went camping alongside the Willamette River.
Dang.
We actually had a decent hike into
all
the
y'all look single.
Someone in the middle of like Buzz
like
just
listening to music and basically drank when everything was funny late at night. I would guess we finally called it a night somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds, while the other two shared another tent.
Brokeback Mountain.
We heard them laughing about
You can watch
something.
on my screen.
At first we laughed at the sound of their laughing, but it soon got annoying and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response. I came to realize that it was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends.
Oh,
Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the woods so late at night.
Run!
The laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campout.
Oh my
My
God.
friend shot up and looked at me with a worried look on his face. I heard my other friends
Oh
screaming
my
that they were
God.
freaked out. As the laughing got even closer, I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s.
Oh.
He sounded like he was as drunk as us, messing around with friends.
Shippy.
You're counting down the seconds until you can skip the ad. I get it. But what if you never had to watch an ad again? What if you had a browser that actually respected your privacy? Well,
Wait, I'm gonna look at the
Bro.
But we only heard his laugh, nobody else.
Hey, what's up, bro?
There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh, too.
Too bad there's not a black man there to die first. One of y'all gotta die first. Anyway, that's horrible. That's horrible.
As if it was missing something to it. You had to be there to understand what I mean. It was now just at the edge of our campsite. But we couldn't hear footsteps at all. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It was impossible to move through that without making noise.
Oh my gosh.
And finally, all of a sudden, the laughing ceased completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound.
Ugh.
We sat there in silence looking at each other. My friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the tent. We saw the outline of a hand through the moonlight, pressing on the tent. We both screamed at the top of our lungs before getting out of the tent. We ran as fast as we could through the woods, our friends following us. After about 5 minutes of running, we somehow found our car. I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were just in this situation.
Hey, yo, Venus,
By
is
far
this
the
you?
most horrific experience of my life.
Bro,
No idea who or what the hell that was, or what they wanted.
Dang, man. If you stayed to wait to see what they wanted, I'm sure somebody would have popped out and been like, it's a prank, bro, it's a prank, it's a prank. Gosh dang. See, that's why I don't go camping, man. I mean, the only place I camp is my own bed. Okay, that doesn't count as camping. But, see, that's why I don't go outdoors, okay? Any of that outdoorsy, ooh, let's go camping in the middle of the woods. Boy, you better get that out of here. Ooh, man, oh, jeez, man. Okay, I didn't quite pee or poop my pants on that story, but, you know, still kind of creepy. Maybe it could have been an animal. It could have been a hyena. Yeah, not in the forest. There's no hyenas in the forest. Never mind. Or it could have been like some sort of laughing animal. I don't know, man. Jeez. But everybody comment down below your favorite animal. Everybody comment down below. Well, I don't know, man. Jeez. But everybody comment down below your favorite animal. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's do it. True hunting stories. All creepy stories are taking place in the woods.
What are you gonna remind me about? Bitch, you gonna subscribe.
I was doing some night hog hunting in the woods near my backyard. I was hiding in the tower I had built about a decade ago.
Dang.
In case anyone's wondering, I first had a night vision scope attachment.
Yeah.
I guess I'm what you would consider
a redneck
hunter.
No, I'm just kidding.
I guess I'm what you consider a hardcore hunter.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to bore you with the unnecessary story prolonging details, so I'll make this short. And I want everyone to know that though I agree this story sounds far-fetched and crazy, it is nothing but the truth.
Okay.
And I, in a way, actually consider myself lucky that I'll always have such a horrifying story to share. So, while I was sitting in the tower waiting for movement, it finally came. I took aim and found the source.
What are you hunting?
But it wasn't at all a hog, or any kind of animal I was expecting. It was a person, a man wearing all black. Black sweatpants, black shoes, and a black hoodie with the hood over his head. That wasn't the freakiest part. He was dragging a sack behind him.
Spam fog.
My heart started racing. I was pretty sure I was witnessing this guy trying to bury a body. I continued to watch him, but then he slowed down.
Spam it. Spam it. I dare you.
It looked as if he turned his head up to me.
Oh, no!
I ducked down under the wooden walls of the tower, shaking in my boots. Yes, I had a gun.
Man, I thought he was gonna say shaking in my boots. Yes, I wear boots.
I had a gun.
He had a gun.
But just the idea of using it against a person is horrifying.
Do it, man!
I lay low, praying to God that he hadn't seen me. It wouldn't make sense if he could, though. It's practically pitch black out here. Or at least, that was my logic.
He had night vision goggles.
Seconds felt like an eternity as I waited for the footsteps in the leaves to move elsewhere. But I didn't hear any footsteps. All I heard was the sound of a foot hitting one of the wooden planks on the ladder of the tower.
Oh,
I felt the entire tower vibrate and shake as there were two more steps moving up the ladder.
Oh my god. That's so scary.
At this point, I was asking myself down, am I going to be able to shoot someone?
That close? No.
But for some reason, whoever was down there decided not to climb all the way up.
Yeah,
as I heard them jump back down to the forest ground and began dragging the sack away.
Oh, that's so scary.
I think I stayed frozen like a statue for at least 10 minutes before even peeking over the ledge again. The coast seemed clear. I had to get home and warn the police immediately.
Duh.
I hopped over the ledge and descended down the ladder. I turned on my pocket flashlight, which in hindsight was a stupid move considering the situation, and ran back in the direction of my house.
You have a pocket flashlight.
I was only able to run for about 10 seconds or so when I heard the rapid, manic footsteps crunching the leaves from behind me. I took a look over my shoulder, and there he was, inches away from my face.
Run!
I spun around and shot him in the shoulder. He stopped and screamed in agony, and I took that moment to finish my dash to my house.
Jeez.
Again, in hindsight, I should have held him hostage somehow.
Duh.
But that doesn't even matter now.
I was getting stuck with my music. Nothing was ever done, nothing was ever finished. Lander really gives me exactly what I need to hear my music the way I want to hear it.
With Lander Mastering, I'm not wasting money on people who don't know my sound. Programs I don't know how to use. It's all me, my sound, how I want it.
I don't even know how much time I sing, but Lander helped me put it right back in the places it needs to be.
Try it out.
Bro, what did you put inside this chat, bro, boy?
Doesn't matter now. I called the police.
Venus,
They showed
is
up
that
within
you?
15 minutes with a whole
That's
squad,
Venus.
and I led them all
That's
into the woods
Venus.
to the exact location where I shot
Bro,
him.
Venus, if this is you, put your name
blood
in.
trail spilled onto the leaves, which led past the body bag, which the cops seized, and eventually right to the maniac, who was hiding under a log next to
he's
a
still watching.
Oh my gosh.
He was arrested for murder of Jin Quen Sakanaki,
Yeah.
Betty's corner store owner.
Hello.
I don't know the full story behind it, but I do know I won't forget this one for the rest of my life. And I'll also be telling it for the rest of my life.
What? Come on, man. Don't you know snitches get stitches? You can't be, man, boy. You're gonna be telling the story for the rest of your life, man. Boy, snitches. I ain't no snitch, except for Rachel McDonald, who stole my Cheetos in the 7th grade. Yeah, I know you're watching this video. You owe me a bag of Cheetos, Rachel. Whew. Okay, that was a little bit scarier. That was a little bit creepy. That was creepy, especially when the murderer started climbing up the stairs to the tower. Ooh, that was scary. That was scary. I'm such a little child, man. But it's a good thing because you know I ain't about to be investigating nothing. Woo, okay, last one. Let's check it out. Nightmares that read into reality. Okay.
Nightmares that read.
I was having a horrifying dream. Possibly the most disturbing nightmare of my life.
What?
I was in my house,
like a man?
the closest thing to my house that my dream could produce. Ironically enough, I was in bed in this dream, or at least I can only start remembering past the point of my lying in bed. And all of a sudden, the sound came from downstairs. I walked downstairs in the dark, not turning on any lights, where I thought the sound was coming from. I was on my middle floor now. The dream was telling me to go downstairs to my laundry room, and so I did. But as I got there, expecting the noise to be louder and closer, it sounded like it was just as far as before. Now I was going upstairs to the kitchen, and it's strange. Outside of every window was complete blackness, not general nighttime darkness.
Exactly, you can't
see. There was nothingness.
Because it's a dream.
All that existed in this dream was my house.
Are you actually on it?
Now my dream started to suggest that the banging sounds were coming from upstairs. So I went back upstairs.
You're gonna do what your dream tells you to do?
The door.
Peer pressure.
It was surely beyond that door.
Was it green?
I opened it. There was an old woman standing a bunch of boxes.
Venus!
She was slowly but loudly slamming her hand on one of the boxes, producing an unnatural sound. I tried to quietly step back away from the attic, but the old woman turned around, opened her mouth twice as wide as anyone humanly could, reached out her arms, began to scream, and leaped forward. That's when I woke up. I thought
did you guys not see what
leaped forward. That's when I woke up. I thought it was just a horrific dream, but when I heard a bang coming from downstairs, a bang similar to what I heard in my dream, I felt my heart completely drop. On my way downstairs, another bang. It was the front door. I got the butcher knife from my knife holder in the kitchen and crouched behind the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him to get off.
I was waiting for the next time he would pound on the door, and I would warn him to go away. I waited for a good minute in silence, and finally decided to take a quick look through the window.
Heck no.
There was somebody standing in my driveway. I couldn't tell if he was facing me or looking at me or not, but he was surely the one who was pounding on my door at 4 in the morning. He walked away down the sidewalk moments after he must have noticed me.
It's just UPS.
The pounding on my door was the kind of pounding you would expect from someone trying to break in a door, not to get a house owner's attention.
They just had a package for you, that's all. Amazon Prime.
It was just crazy and horrifying that the pounding and banging from this potential robber or killer didn't wake me up. Rather, became a key point to a horrifying dream.
Look.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was the last one. Y'all trying to react to another one, or you guys just... I like that fresco G.
Hey, look, I'm on Chippy's channel.
Huh?
I'm on Chippy's channel. Oh, you're on Chippy's channel?
Hi, I'm Susan Bennett, the original voice behind the
That's
world's most
old
famous
Henry.
assistant,
Aren't you dead?
Siri.
Aren't you dead?
Well, I'm on Chippy's channel. Oh, you're on Chippy's channel. Oh, yeah, that's definitely Venus. That's not Venus, bro.
Who is it?
Venus is not like that. I was him.
I don't know who that is. Probably Troy or somebody. Bro, mute yo,
I mean, look good, dog. He's got a Minecraft too.
bro. Did you just? Why did you put that in a private chat? This shit go hard.
Go hard.
This shit go hard.
Hey, look. That bitch be busting, right? Look. You can hear his voice. Alright, ain't good. That's cozy. That's cozy. You see, you don't hear his voice?
Bro, who is this? El Chippy. I dare you to put your real name inside the chat. I dare you. I dare you to put it in.
Bro, he had a nasty clip. He had a clip, bro. I think his name's Retro. Oh, yeah.
Hello? Alright then. Alright. Alright, let's try to another one. We should subscribe. Or source party. Okay.
8-year-old Timothy O'Brien went trick-or-treating with his sister, Elizabeth, and 2 other children in Pasadena, accompanied by Timothy's father, Ronald, and another parent. The night started off innocently enough, but would go on to end in tragedy. When the group saw one particular door, there was seemingly no one home, and as such, they swiftly moved on. Timothy's father stayed behind for a moment to wait and see if anybody would answer the door.
My master's going
He quickly caught back up with the others, with 5 pixie sticks in his hand, given to him by the homeowner, who was simply taking their time to answer the door. He distributed the candy amongst the children, and later gave the spare one to a child who was not with the group. It began to rain, and as such, they cut their trick-or-treating session short, and the children and their parents went back to their homes. Before bed, he asked his parents if he could dip into his candy collection. They agreed, and young Timothy decided to start with the pixie stick. He poured some of the powdery candy into his mouth, but immediately complained that it tasted unusually bitter. Timothy quickly realized something was wrong, and he rushed to the bathroom with severe stomach pains. Shortly after, Timothy began to convulse, and within no time at all, went limp in his father's arms. He died as he was being rushed to the hospital. After a pathology report, it was revealed that the pixie sticks had been laced with a poison, a fatal dose of potassium cyanide, to be precise. Timothy consumed enough poison to have killed 2 adults. Thankfully, none of the other children in the group had eaten their pixie sticks, though theirs also tested positive for containing lethal amounts of cyanide. The tops of the candy wrappers had been opened, filled with poison and resealed with a stapler. After the news of Timothy's death spread, there was community uproar, with parents from the surrounding area returning their children's Halloween candy to the police, fearing that a maniac had been handing out poison treats to as many trick-or-treaters as possible, with the sole intention of killing dozens of children. And that's exactly what was believed to have happened by the police. Initially, at least. The authorities began to grow suspicious of Ronald, Timothy's own father, due to his inability to even recall which house handed out the pixie sticks, despite the fact that he and the children had only visited a handful of houses across 2 streets that evening. Even more strange was the fact that none of the houses that the group had visited that evening had been handing out pixie sticks to trick-or-treaters. Eventually, the truth came to light. Ronald had poisoned the candy himself and ensured that it ended up being given to all of the children that he had taken out trick-or-treating. His motivation? To collect on various life insurance policies that he had taken out on his son, and presumably his daughter, though as stated, she never ate her candy. He gave the other children the sweets in order to cover his tracks and make it appear as if someone else was indiscriminately handing out the poisoned pixie sticks.
Oh my god.
Turns out that Ronald was over $100,000 in debt, and the life insurance payouts that he was set to receive would have eased his financial woes. Throughout his entire trial, Ronald maintained his innocence, but the amount of evidence pointing towards him as the murderer was too substantial for the jury to ignore. It was revealed that Ronald, in talking to chemists about where he could purchase cyanide and how much would be needed for a lethal dosage. His friends and co-workers also testified that Ronald showed an unusual interest in the poison in the months leading up to Halloween. He was found guilty of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder, and was sentenced to death. Leading up to Halloween. He was found guilty of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder, and was sentenced to death. While incarcerated, he was despised by his fellow inmates, who condemned him for murdering his own son. Ronald, March 31st, 1984, just after midnight. A crowd of demonstrators gathered outside as he died, some eating trick or treat. For his heinous crime, Ronald has become known as the man who killed Halloween.
Oh my god.
The day was October 21st, just several days shy before Halloween. My anticipation grew higher and higher as I planned to host a Halloween party at my place. I remember setting up a Facebook event and inviting my close friends and co-workers to join the party. My friend Dave would usually be the one to host these kind of events, but unfortunately he couldn't do it this year as his parents were having renovations done at their house. While setting up the event, I didn't take into consideration that my parents were extremely against Halloween festivities. They would always lecture me on why Halloween was a holiday only meant for kids who wanted to go to hell and worship the devil. What made things more frustrating was how they kept the same beliefs until now, despite me being in my late teens. One night, I noticed my mom sitting in the living room watching TV. I began to approach her
You're counting down the seconds until you can skip the ad, right? What if you never had to watch an end? What if you had actually respected your privacy? Well, Brave Browser does.
He meant to donate $5, but he gave you so much money.
Approach her direction while trying to muster up any plausible excuse that would persuade her in the favor of my party idea. I casually hovered over her saying, "Hey Mom, just in case Dad didn't tell you today, I just wanted to say that you look very beautiful."
You know you guys are not chippy.
What?
You're not usually this nice. So spit it out, whatever you have to say.
Can I invite my friends over for Halloween?
My face.
Damn.
I remember heading to my room while pouting under my breath on how I was living such an unfair life. I sat in front of my computer and began sulking for the remainder of the night as I messaged the bad news to my friend Dave. As I embarrassingly addressed the issue, Dave responded back by suggesting that we purchase an Airbnb instead of hosting the party at someone's house. I thought it was a pretty smart idea, so we mutually agreed to get an Airbnb that was located somewhere more secluded and away from the suburban part of town. Feelings of excitement began exuberating throughout my body, as I couldn't help but feel exhilarated at the notion that I didn't have to deal with my parents' incompetence. Fast forward to October 31st and it was officially Halloween. I began driving towards the Airbnb destination about an hour or two after check-in, just so I could prep before the guests arrived. As I got closer to the destination, I remember seeing a decent-sized house that looked a tad run down. It didn't look like there were any other houses around, just a lot of tall trees and pine cones in the air. I figured it would add to the spooky ambiance considering this was Halloween. As I got inside, I immediately started setting up for the party while having a few glasses of alcohol on the side. A couple hours later, the sun was finally beginning to set, which meant that the guests were on their way to the party. I figured I'd dress as George as my name was George, so pun intended. I texted and called my friend Dave, but unfortunately didn't get a response. I speculated that everyone was either unable to find the correct address or was just going to show up to this party fashionably late. That's when the room TV begins to abruptly turn on. I then saw a bizarre message playing on the TV, as if it came straight out of the movie The Purge saying,
"This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 lower have been authorized to use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted."
What the hell is going on? TV off. I opened the door and saw some kids shout, "Trick or treat!" Sorry guys, no candy here today. You suck, and wearing a raincoat is a cheapskate. I'm dressed as Georgie, you idiot! I slammed the door shut and began to hammer down another drink. That's when I heard another knock at the door. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away! Not handing out any candy, you stupid kids! I angrily approached the door and looked through the peephole, only to see a group of people wearing purge masks while holding machetes. At first glance, I thought a guest from the party. But then I heard one of the guys say, "Maybe we can go through the backyard and take him out there." My heart began to submerge into my stomach. I turned off all the house lights and simultaneously darted across the living room to make sure that the backyard sliding door was locked. As I secured the lock handle, one of the purgers slammed his hand on the glass door while yelling, "Open the door, Georgie! Leave me alone or I'm calling the cops!" That's when I grabbed a large blade and a knife set on the kitchen counter and ran towards the bedrooms. I then saw a red balloon hovering above the ground. I couldn't tell if I was hallucinating or not from the belligerent state that I was in. Nonetheless, I plowed through the hallway and locked myself in one of the bedrooms. As I glanced through the blinds of the bedroom window, I saw someone dressed as Pennywise dancing psychotically while staring in my direction. I heard nothing but the sound of my heart throbbing vigorously through my chest cavity. That's when I hear the closet door open behind me. I couldn't mingle muscle as I was honestly petrified to turn around. I then felt a soft tap on my shoulder with someone saying, "Hey, Georgie." Ah! How the hell did you get in here? You want a balloon, Georgie? What? Here. Take it. Take it. Get away from me, clown! You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too! That's when the clown's mouth abnormally opens wide and begins to swallow my entire head. I felt like my life was slowly diminishing. Through my haze, I dug the kitchen blade into the stomach of the clown despite not being able to see a thing. I could feel the hand that was digging at the clown's stomach become wet from the blood being shed everywhere. I then opened my eyes and realized that the mouth that was supposedly swallowing my head was none other than a brown paper bag being held by my friend Dave. Happy Halloween!
He was dressed up as. So you didn't see what just happened.
Yeah, so, you didn't even let. I'm in backstage too.
I never took you off of this.
Yo, Chippy joined. Chippy joined. Chippy had to join us.
You want to put the link in the chat?
Chippy still in?
Yes, he's still here. He's right there.
Oh, it's just one viewer.
Bro, I'm gonna tell J Mark to get on this shit.
Oh hell no. You got one viewer.
Whoa.
What?
What did you put inside the chat, Chippy? What the? Chippy. Chippy.
You thought.
Bro, Chippy, what did you put inside the chat? What the hell?
Oh my god. So funny.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god, show him the USD, dude. He's donated, man.
Nigga, like, dude, I said, how the hell would you be able to donate money? Dude, it literally would have popped up on the screen right here, not inside the damn chat.
No, it pops up in the chat. It pops up in the chat.
Yeah, but it also would show up inside the stream, too.
No, because you don't have that setting.
I do. I just didn't activate it. Oh, jeez. See?
Pushing T.
Are y'all trying to react to another one, or y'all just trying to play some? Y'all just trying to play a game or something? What the fuck are you watching?
What the hell? You don't even watching?
You wait for me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
you thought. What was your weak ass stream? Put this shit out loud. Put that shit out loud.
no, I'm not.
Boy, you with your weak ass stream.
I love that film too. This one took her hard look literally.
This is a Fortnite skin.
Huh?
This is a Fortnite.
They go hard at it.
Never saw you, bro.
What she did?
Bro, she thought the $10,000. She thought $10,000.
You saw $10,000.
That was a good idea. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know that he's chippy?
Hello.
I'm not trippy.
Alright, bye.
I'll let that shit. So Andres better come along and beat it. Captain Booster.
So scared.
Dang.
What the hell, man? That shit look kind of gay. Like, go back. Hey, yo, come on.
Hey.
I mean, we're gonna get hard at night, bro. I ain't bleeding them.
Alright, but like, y'all trying to watch?
What is that?
Troy got the big.
Who's Cozy?
No, just Troy. Hold up.
That's Troy.
Yes, I do. Yes.
They didn't believe. They thought snapped. They even found it funny. I bet they regret that now. We've all been given plenty of time to think about it. There was nothing in the air that night that suggested things would turn. It was a night of trick-or-treating just like any other. I had my two friends with me, Steve and Jim. We were rocking our usual low-effort costumes. But early on, we had the idea to split up and hit houses by ourselves, thinking we'd score pity points and more candy by being on our own. We ran off into separate directions and got to it. It was actually working pretty well. I was getting way more from each house than a kid my age would usually get. But I wasn't alone for long. I saw a random kid standing in the middle of the street, not moving, just staring up at a street lamp. He didn't even have a costume. "Hey kid!" I called out to him, but he didn't move. So I walked up and clapped my hands on his shoulder. "Hey man." He didn't startle at all. Just slowly craned back his neck and flashed me a very disarming smile. "Hey there, buddy. What are you doing on Halloween without a costume, boss?" He finally turned around and shrugged. "Ah, this is just how I roll every Halloween. Costumes aren't necessary if you've got charm." That innocent smile again. "Well, you're not going to get anything if you just stand out in the middle of the street." "Are you sure about that?" Yeah, pretty sure. Hey, you know what? We're both by ourselves, so why don't we hit some houses together?" "That sounds great, buddy. Let's go." "Hey, wait up. At least tell me your name first." "I'm Sean." He stopped for a moment and looked over his shoulder. "Nice to meet you, Sean. Call me Crane." "Sure thing, Crane." Then we were off. That Crane was a real interesting character. He taught me how to use his charm to get way more candy. "All you need is a genuine smile," he'd say. From that point on, I was raking in the goods like never before. But the strangest thing was, he never took any candy for himself. Nobody even offered any to him. And every time I tried to give him some of mine, he'd decline. "No thanks, Sean. I'm diabetic," he'd say. He was a cool guy for sure, but I was pretty confused as to what he was doing out on Halloween night if he was unable to eat candy as he claimed. But I wasn't going to ask. That seemed too judgmental. After a
Want more reviews from your customers? Podium makes it as easy as...
After a while, I decided to introduce Crane to my friends and see if they would welcome him into our group. I sent them a selfie of the two of us with the caption, "Met this cool guy Crane." I thought it was weird that they both screenshotted the picture. It wasn't funny or anything, but I just shrugged and took Crane to where my friends said to meet. When I got there, Jim and Steve were nowhere to be found. "Where are these friends of yours, Sean?" "I don't know. They should be around here somewhere. Maybe they're late." "Okay." Crane seemed a little concerned, so I tried to cheer him up. I clapped him on the shoulder again and gave him a reassuring shake. "Don't worry, man. These guys are really cool. They'll like you. We'll all get along really well. Hey, while we're waiting, try and think of some cool things to tell them about yourself. You know?" "Sure thing, buddy." Waving their phones around. "What's wrong with you, Sean?" "Dude, have you gone psycho?" They didn't even notice Crane. He was starting to look upset. "What are you guys talking about? Aren't you going to introduce yourselves?" That threw them off balance with laughter. "Oh man, you really are crazy. Dude, we caught you in 4K talking to yourself. I posted it to Snap, bro." Crane was just standing there. It started to freak me out just a bit, so I went on my phone and looked at Jim's story. There I was in the middle of the street, talking loudly to nobody, my hand on the shoulder of thin air, looking like a totally insane person. What? I don't understand. Crane? When I looked up, my friends could finally see it, but it wasn't Crane anymore.
What do you think about this one?
I'll get that one a good 5.
Bro, rate out of 10. What do you rate out of 10? Hey, Alejandro, what do you rate?
Why would you rate that story out of 10? They gonna say you shit your pants?
1 to shit your pants. In a scale of 1 to shit your pants. What would he give it? In a scale of 1 to shit your pants. What would he give it?
That's like a 10.
Nigga, you are not shitting your pants. Y'all trying to play games?
Yeah,
Put some on the wrong people, nigga, get blicked out. Gun up in my head, wanna fuck a woman. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right.
without bleeding.
How come they can say you clear but not us? How come they can say you clearly with color?
Because that nigga brown.
What the? Like my dream.
I'm going my dream to be a famous YouTuber. Hey, take me a picture with Masky Gamer before he turns famous, bro.
Nigga, fuck you.
Come on, hey, bro, I want to take a picture. Because if he actually turn famous, I want to have a picture like before.
I'm at a stream.
Bro, don't end it, bro. Don't end it.
Why not end it?
Bro, we in Masky Gamer right now. Gotta go crazy in that vlog, bro. Bro, it's world famous Masky Gamer. Bro, I really thought they were gonna give me $10,000.
I was actually gonna split it with y'all, no cap.
You gonna split it with us?
I was. All up in my head, want my dick out. Too damn high. I want to play some Roblox.
Okay. Let's do some Roblox.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Let's play some Roblox. One of your girlfriend? One of your girlfriend?
Huh?
One of your girlfriend? Hey, you got that golden chain. I got that gold tattoo. Don't worry, I got it on me. Oh hell yeah! What is it? Texas? Like you got that? You put that hoe out.
Hell no.
How much did it cost? How much did it cost?
I got good shit.
You think it's real?
Yeah. My mom's not good shit. And when you go spend it, my mom did it.
Should I just end it now?
Whatever you want.
Alright, bet. Pull up on the wall, see the nigga get a beat out, gone up in my head, mom. Alright.
Can I get my money back? Can I get my money back? Hey,
Like, I knew damn well this nigga